First of all, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Akash Persaud, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go down that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD. I got nothing.
No, calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective, but an erratic detective is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, girl, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Kingdom, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Hi, good evening. Happy Friday evening to you from Georgetown. In Queenstown, we broadcast from Laluni Street in Queenstown. Friday night, our call-in program, and we normally show you a few videos. We have as a guest co-host somebody that you have known before. He has co-hosted this program 3 times before. PPP Member of Parliament, PPP stalwart, and the advisor to the Ministry of Local Government and a member of the GWI board, Dharam Kumar Siraj. So you have an opportunity to call someone with authority in the state about your problems in local government, about your problems with water. There is a gentleman for the past 2 years I've been calling in, and last week or the week before, he said he called Siraj on this program. Siraj hasn't done anything. If he is listening, if he's looking, this is your last opportunity. Please, let's get this thing out of the way, because it sounds strange that for 2 years, a particular housing scheme hasn't got water for 10 years. I'm wondering if this guy is just, don't let me say anything more. But welcome to our co-host, Akash Persaud, and welcome to our guest co-host, Dharam Kumar Siraj. As usual, we show you some videos. Now, look at this video.
So guys, before we show this video, I just want you to know that the record label will be coming out very shortly. And you got to hear the voices of these 2 men. So have a look. Put it on full screen there, man.
Gentleman here on the seawall was walking my dog, and he was with his guitar. So I approached him and say, why don't you play one of my favorite songs, Bob Marley Redemption song? And he said yes. And he played Redemption song, and I thought he can play the guitar and he can sing, and so I suggested him, come in the studio and let's do some of the compositions of one of the most unique singer and composer in the world, Bob Marley. And so he said, sure. So here we are in the studio. I am back up. I don't think I could do much to back him up, but here we are. Before we strike up the band, let's ask this gentleman a little bit about himself.
My name is Christopher. I've lived in the United States longer than I lived in Guyana. I was born in Berbice, but I left here when I was 17. I returned at 55, and I realized that the music I was playing in the United States is not here. It's not in Guyana yet. But I still like to play. I have a couple of guitars. I don't go out to the seawall or the national park and strum a couple of songs, especially Bob Marley songs, and people like to hear me do those. Like Mr. Kissoon said, he saw me yesterday and he asked me to play this song for him. This here is an improvisation because it's not done exactly the way Bob did it.
But before you start, my cameraman told me that he was at the Building Expo and he saw you singing there.
Oh yes, I like to go to the fairs or, you know, events like where a lot of people are and play my guitar and get some exposure. Exposure is always good. I'm still curious because I didn't get all the information I needed. But I wanted to know more about what's going on with the oil process and see what they had, you know, to exhibit to us so that people here that might be interested could take an opportunity to invest in something that might be lucrative in the future.
All right. So, since you returned to Guyana, you're happy?
Oh yes, Guyana is going up, and it's been going up since, I say, at least 2 years after we covered oil. I realized that things are getting a lot better because when I got home, I was shocked. Things seemed to be like they stood still for years. Now I see a slight move towards some development. It's needed. It's badly needed.
I hope when the president has his thing on the presidential lawn, you are contacted. We, myself and my co-host for the Freddie Kissoon show, we know the chief administrator of the First Lady office, so we will contact him and we will try to set up a little 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute gig if there's anything on the lawn. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing my Palestinian shirt. What, as someone trained in history, what's happening in Palestine pierces my heart every day.
It's
the committal of genocide. Now, there is a part of Bob Marley's redemption song which I want to dedicate to the people of Palestine, the militants who are being killed every day defending their land, the land that belongs to them.
I stand with you 110% on that.
This is the part, and I will just rehearse the part, then we'll sing it together. This is the part. How long
shall the
How long
shall the killer
while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill. Now, so let's start with that and then we'll come in with the chorus. Right, so you ready?
Yep.
Yes, they rabbi.
Take on to the merchant ships.
Minutes after they took us
to the bottomless pit.
From the bottomless pit. But my hand was made strong by the hands of the Almighty. Went forward in this generation
triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? That's all I ever had. Redemption song. Redemption song.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds.
Have no fear of atomic energy. Nothing can stop the time.
How long shall they kill our prophets
while we stand aside and look?
Ooh,
some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book.
So
won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? That's all I ever had. Redemption song. Redemption
one song.
Songs of freedom. Songs of freedom.
Great. Now, what are your Marley's favorite songs and what are mine? Let me say, I can't begin. I can't begin. No Woman, No Cry, Could You Be Love, Survivors, Zion Train. Could You Be Love? Don't let them fool you, or even try to school you.
Could you be loved? Oh, now.
And be loved.
Could you be loved? Oh, now.
And be loved. Don't let them fool you.
You was asking me about some of my favorite Bob. That's a lovely one, but I like this one. Stereo.
Lady darling, steer it up. Little darling, in a
Little darling, it's been a long, long time since I got you on my mind. Now that you are here, I say it's so clear. Let's see what we can do, baby. Just me and you, come on. Come on, baby. Come on,
steer it up. Little darling, steer it up.
yeah. I push the wood, blaze the fire, and I satisfy your every heart's desire. Stirring it, baby, each and every minute. All you got to do, honey, is keep it in it and
Steer it up. Little darling, steer it up.
Come on and rock my throat with me. Come on and
Steer it up.
oh, little darling, quench me. Oh, when I'm thirsty, come on and cool me, baby. When I'm hot, your recipe, darling, is so tasty, and you sure know how to stir the pot, so darling, steer it up. Little darling, steer it up. Come on. Come on and steer it up. Oh, little darling.
Let's have one more Bob Marley, and then we'll look at us any song from any part of the world that you like. You know,
Okay, in next Friday we'll show you some more clips of, I think he sang one more Bob Marley song and a song from the Bee Gees that he liked. So let's go to maybe two more videos. We showed you a video 6 weeks ago. This is what Guyana has become. There is a large branch hanging over a electric wire next to a school, next to a reconditioned car sales store, and next to many houses. This thing has been hanging on a wire 6 weeks now. We spoke to residents. I mean, could you imagine? No one has made an attempt to move that thing on Peter Rose Street. So people just go about the business, and this thing is on the telephone wire. This is what we have come to in Guyana. 6 weeks now that thing is there, and there's a school right next door. Anyway, that's what we become in this place. What other video we got there, Akash?
We have one with the stairs at the on the seawall opposite the First Lady's project there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now you in the night you walk, they did some whip-wrap on the seawall, and you know what they did? Parts of the step have been destroyed, and you walk in evening, you could easily sprain your ankle. It's all along.
Look at demonstration. Look at demonstration there. Look. And he's doing that because he knows, but they damaged the thing. Look, this is the riprap they're doing out there.
That's a small.
Beautiful.
Look that hole there. I went into that hole. You gaffing with your friends and you walking on the wall, and you could slip down there and hurt you. It's the Ministry of Public Works that is responsible for that. People were seeing this thing. If they walk and it hurt them, you hear the government, you hear the president, you hear this minister, that minister. The Ministry of Public Works should have repaired that thing 2 months ago. So the numbers are on the screen. Please call in. We have as the co-host the advisor to the Minister of Local Government, and he sits on the board of Guyana Water Authority. We have had several complaints over the past 2 years about water and about the NDCs. So you have the fourth opportunity on this program to speak to a board member, an influential board member of GWI, because he also represents the ruling party in Parliament. He's also the advisor to the Ministry of Local Government. The 3 numbers are on the screen. There is a man for the past 2 years that have called this program and said that he lives in a scheme in Horstelling, and they're not getting water, but right next to his scheme, the big shots are getting water. He said he spoke to Siraj on the program. If he's listening, if he's looking, let us finally identify the problem you are studying. I, speaking for myself, not for Akash, I cannot see how a scheme 10 years ago was architectured and people are living there. And right next to that scheme doesn't get water. And right next to that scheme, another scheme was built and people getting water. So something is wrong there, Siraj. Something is wrong.
Definitely. We have set ourselves some targets and some goals, and people who have applied for their connections, we are saying that within 16 days they should be connected. If a leak is reported, we're saying that within 3 days that leak should be fixed. And we have an aggressive PR campaign, and we are allowing people to call in, and we have WhatsApp program and all of different mechanisms in place where persons can make contact with GWI. And I'm particularly happy for people to call in. If we don't know of the problems, we cannot address the problems.
Also, just a minute, I'm wearing something close to the West Indies colors. We are true to the Super 8s. Call in and share your thoughts on the West Indies and what's happening in the T20 World Cup. We hosted some successful games here in Guyana, and I can't wait to see West Indies in the finals. So call in and talk about the cricket. And we have a large viewership from the diaspora. Congratulations to you guys too. The USA has made it through to the Super 8s, and Pakistan was knocked out at the cost. Yeah. So call in. Let's hear from you.
Okay, so if that gentleman is listening, I hope somebody tells him Mr. Siraj is on. For 2 years this guy has been calling. Now, let us, if he says he looks at the program every Friday, there's a problem, he said, with water at the scheme he lives in or is telling. When this program first started, he called in. Please call in.
And I'm making this commitment now. The gentleman calls in and this problem persists. I will visit him first thing tomorrow morning.
You have a call there?
Yeah. Caller, good night, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, good night.
Hi, good night. Hi, good night. Good night, panel.
Good night, good night.
Good evening.
Ready? Yeah, good night. All right. Some time ago, I had called Akash on the side, and I is a guy that will talk to you, Akash, about what going on at the Georgetown Hospital in connection with when patient goes there and no machine working, blood test machine working, this ain't working, that ain't working. Now last week on this set program, you call Akash, you call someone, and they say, yeah, the blood test machine and everything working. Akash, sir, they're lying. You're taking your cameras, you're showing branches on lines, step breaking up, and this kind of stuff. What I would like you and Freddie to do, go down to the Georgetown Hospital with your camera, right? And see what's happening there, right? I sent them, Akash, I had WhatsApp you 2 videos, I forwarded to you. Today, one guy went to the Georgetown Hospital, and a patient was on the ground, and because the guy vigilant, right, the doctor called police to put him out, right? Or they gone, I also forwarded to you. Another girl, unfortunately, she happened to die. A 21-year-old girl happened to die, right, because of negligence of doctor. Nobody does nothing about these things. The thing about it is that the doctors at Georgetown Public Hospital are giving patients date that they could go and do your test privately. It's causing poor people hundreds and thousands of dollars. I want to give the patient those dates. I want the patient go back to the hospital, right? Something wrong. The doctor in there, the doctor out of the country, and you know what they are saying? Okay, I'm going to give you another date, but you have to go and do back all these tests. The blood test machine ain't working. The other machines that they're supposed to do tests ain't working. They're just fooling me. As I said to you already, go down there with your cameras and take a look. They are lying to us. They are lying to you.
Well, caller, let me say this.
Problem that we got.
Let me say this, that in treating patients, the blood test, in my own layman experience and view, is one of the most important investigative methodology you have to use to detect issues. And if it's not available there, then something is wrong.
But
exactly. That's
exactly. Let me say, but Akash called his doctor friend. He didn't call.
Yeah, I called somebody. Yeah, I just want to get that clear because some people keep calling in. So here's the other thing. I mean, I know you probably would have sent the videos too, but what happens, sir? Sometimes dozens of people are sending things all the time, and believe me, there are some things that I have to do, and I may have missed it. My apologies, but I will try to follow up also.
But if I may, if the camera can zoom in, you see, I'm trying to show my elbow here. I was at the Georgetown Public Hospital only Wednesday at 8:15 for a blood test. And if you see this mark here, this is the needle mark. Yeah, so I went at Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation and they took a blood sample because I'm due for my yearly checkup. So they did take my sample, and Carl, I'm not disputing what I'm telling you. I'm just saying that our experiences might be different, and we'll commit ourselves to make some checks. I know the Georgetown Public Hospitals, there are a lot of patients going there. The waiting time is long, and you know, medication and medical care is free there. So people go there. I go there also.
But hold a second.
And if people got to wait very long time, and then you go and do your blood test, and you come back and you're told to go again, that is unacceptable.
Okay, but hold a second. From the time we got the report of the labs not working, that's a month ago, I don't think the authorities in any country would allow the central hospital labs to be non-functioning for a month. No, I can't I mean, a day or two, but not a month.
No, this is an essential service as a part of a hospital operation.
Akash, what you think? The lady called in a month ago to say the labs aren't working. The labs aren't working up to now.
I mean, look, the caller
Your friend said that.
Yeah, but again, as Mr. Siraj is saying too, we can't dispute what this caller is saying, right? We cannot dispute what he's saying. However, caller, here's what we'll do. I'm gonna try again to, as you said, look, it's not right to
I am going to find out tomorrow.
But it's not right to take a camera into a public facility and, for the purpose of that. It doesn't look right, but we're going to try our best to find out. But I understand your frustration. I really do understand your frustration.
How long ago this thing happened, caller?
Man, this thing happened nearly about 6 weeks ago.
All right. See, I'm telling you that I'm
6 weeks ago, so the labs haven't been working for 6 weeks
but
now.
The lab, I did a blood test.
No, I can't accept that. I can't accept the Georgetown Hospital lab.
That day they probably had
for the past 6 weeks.
No, he's saying that this thing happened 6 weeks ago, and I'm saying that I was there Wednesday, 2 days ago. They took a sample from my vein here, and they did a blood test. So what might have happened on that particular day, they might have had a problem. But that problem would have been fixed by now.
You want to call your friend again?
No, I don't want to call her again because that's another thing. But
Minister, one of the most hurtful parts of this here is that when we have to send our loved ones to do these medical privately, it costs us a lot of money.
No, right? I totally agree with you, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not doubting you, but things could have changed, and I'm saying that we have committed to make some checks in it. And I'm telling you also, every day you go to the Georgetown public hospitals, you will find a line of people there. Because hundreds of people go in there. Hundreds of people go there because the medical care at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, I will say so, is one of the best. The problem is that people don't utilize the other auxiliary institutions in the regions, and everyone comes to Georgetown. So it's a matter of decentralizing healthcare, and that is why you have this year, in this year budget, the construction of 7 new hospitals in the different regions, so that volume of people don't need to come to Georgetown. And we need to ensure that the expertise, the skills, the professionals that are in Georgetown, the same level of service and services are available at these institutions in the regions.
Let's check this thing tomorrow. Siraj, you're coming back on the
call the
Okay, Akash, look at that video on WhatsApp.
You know what? Do forward it back to me. I have a friend who's in neurosurgeon at the hospital.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming through.
I'm trying to make
contact. Okay, thank you.
Good.
I know the head of the lab, but I don't have her phone number. But let's check this.
Freddie. I was there Wednesday. Look at this mark here. This is a needle mark. I did my blood test.
Hello, good evening, caller.
Hi, good evening, guys. Good evening, Freddie. Good evening, Siraj. Good evening, Akash.
Good evening.
All right. A couple of things. With the video that was shown with the branch still on the wire hanging along there, I am one of the guys who would have complained about President Ali being a little bit aggressive in terms of when he responds to something. I will now apologize to President Ali, because you know what? Nonchalant behavior sometimes doesn't get things going. I can remember this story in Bushlat. I was actually in Guyana at the same time, where somebody complained about the street lights not working for the past 3 months. And when President Ali said, "Where is Public Works?" and I was kind of upset. I thought that he was a little too aggressive. The lights started working half an hour after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes they take a call, and sometimes the people are not aware of the problem.
And this is one of the busiest streets in Queenstown, where that thing is, one of the busiest streets in Queenstown.
Yeah, there we go. And it's sad that I don't know, man. I can't find words. This is absolute garbage. It's garbage. It should not happen.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Yes, we agree with you. So.
But this is this. But look at the state of our mentality. You see that thing right outside your home, and life goes on.
Some vehicles when they're passing, it's so low that it hit in the vehicle at the top.
Anyway, anything else, sir?
Well, look at that. Nah, good night, guys. Take care.
All right, good man. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening, guys. Good evening, it's Mr. Partner. Just backing up that last call pertaining to the hospital, just a few words, and then I'll make my point. You are just saying he was there on Wednesday and he got his blood test done. But you actually need to realize that he has served this government in many forums, many parts. So he's a totally different person from the grassroots. Anyhow, as that has been said.
I did say that my experience could have been different from the other.
Yes,
I made that point.
Yes, I know. That's true. That's very true. Anyhow, let me make my point. Pertaining to GPL and this new shift that they have here. I don't know who the Berbice branch manager feels he's talking to. He said on the number 21 tower, this was his words from yesterday, quote unquote. The birds are flacking the tower and they're tripping the main breakers of the ship. Right?
He actually said vultures. He identified the birds.
Carrion crow.
Carrion crow.
Yeah.
Correct. But I am 46 years of age and I grew up in that area where these towers are. We have had over the years on the 69 kV that run at the back in the dam, boards issue. We have never had an issue with boards on the tower that I have known about. And it was never publishable. All of a sudden, we have this shift now, and we start getting problems with the towers. They said we're getting blackouts for 8 hours today. We only had blackouts for 1 hour. Secondly, they say they're installing some shields today to test it out to see how if it will fit. Don't we have experts? Don't we have measurements? Because if these shields are fit today, then they'll have to go and tender to get the rest of the shields. How long will we have to wait again for the tender to go through, then for them to give another set of blackouts to install the rest of the shields? That is the reason why this government is hiring experts. These people think that they are talking to donkeys. It is unacceptable with this blackout in this region. It is really, really unacceptable. I know the Vice President said the ship would not eradicate the blackout, but it would ease it all in at least 90%. Oh, we are still getting 60% blackout.
You had blackout today in Region 5?
No, this is in Region 6. We had it like an hour in some area. In some area, you had it like half day and stuff.
Okay.
Because at my workplace, we had it for an hour and a half. But when I came home, you had it for since 12 till about 6:30 or whatever.
Right.
My point is, the shield, you have export, you're supposed to, when you procure all the shields. If you have to do a bad job, then we have to go through another set of blackout again.
Yeah, correct. I take it, caller, that you're saying that with exports, we should not be trying this hit and miss game. You know what you're about, you know what is it that you want, you know the solution to the problem. You go ahead and you fix it. Yeah, this is like shooting in the dark and hoping that you hit something.
Bro, let me tell you something. It is really hard when you have a child. Not all of us can afford a generator, right? And when the child are going through the heat piles and whatever, you have to have the fan, the solar fan, because of the weather. It is not giving a full day.
Right. And a lot of research is done online now, and you need your Wi-Fi, you need the router, and you need these kinds of things to be working and so on. We understand the predicament, and I think that is why the power ship came in. Now we have the issue that you have the power, but the transmission lines, you have to upgrade them and all of that. So I think it's a work in progress, and if we have an hour per day, that should not be, but I think it has greatly improved. There shouldn't be any period at all during the day where you have blackout. But I think we have come a far way. We have now, I think that ship got about 30 megawatts of power that's available. They're looking for some more, and Let's. I understand the problem, and we shouldn't be having the blackout.
Carrion Crow eating the cables?
Yeah. No. When they said that because of the wingspan, they sometimes trip these fuses
and
cause a problem.
I'll tell you something. The largest color.
Apparently, they open about 3 feet, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's about 3 feet and change these transmission lines. All right, no problem with the board. But my point is, if you're installing shields, bid one procurement, do a study on it, do the procurement, get all the shields, and install it now. You did it yesterday, then we have to go through another set of blackout again till the procurement.
Yeah. I saw the part where they said we trying this thing out on one tower and we hope it work. If it work, then we're going to go and look for more.
We all know how procurement system runs in this country. It takes months.
Right. So let's see, because those towers have been there all the time and those boards have been there all the time.
Yeah.
And if the wires are 3 feet apart, it's very convenient that the wingspan of the vultures are 3 feet too.
But see, Raj, if you had when last you went to 6th Street Beach, the largest congregation I see of carrion crows in this country is by the 6th Street Beach. I'm Freddie, by the thousands they're there, right? I'm not kidding. People call us, people who are watching will tell you they're by the thousands. And
well, they're doing a good job. They're cleaning up the place.
They're cleaning up the place. But here, what? Remember, they keep increasing the numbers, and not necessarily, though they may not have been on those lines before, but as they increase in numbers, they're gonna go places.
So
now they're killing.
At one time we were afraid that they would have been extinct.
Yeah, now they're eradicating them now.
All right, caller, thank you very much for coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, Carrion Crow. Carrion Crow on the war part.
Vultures.
Vultures, they're all over this country.
We know them as Carrion Crow.
No, but vultures, they're all over Freddie. Believe me.
Not only on the power lines.
No, not yet.
Right.
So callers, you can call in, right? You see the numbers there, 647-4397. All right, we got a call there.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
A very good night to you, sir.
Good night.
Good evening.
And good night to the panel. Could I say something?
Go ahead.
I have 3 things to say. First thing first, I wanted to start with the cricket.
Yeah.
Now, recently Trinidad had they host the West Indies and what's not. You saw something different from Guyana. Well, if you see, I saw it.
Tell me.
Look how the Trinidadians come out in the numbers.
Yes.
With the children and support the West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were in Guyana, you saw what happened.
But remember the games that they played in Guyana. We played what, Papua New Guinea. And so
right.
But remember that game New Zealand that they played there? That's a big game, right? So big games attract more people too.
That is natural, sir. That is natural.
Yeah, big games will attract.
You're not gonna have a World Cup match.
Yeah, but hear this, man. The truth about it is that I want you to check the cost.
Right. No, that's a fact. The cost for the ticket price is a little high too. Yes.
The cost.
Yeah.
People of this country. Guyana is a cricket country, but I don't want to stay too long on that. That's one issue.
Mm-hmm.
The second issue is with the number of schools that has been built in our country for hundreds of millions of dollars. And there is no school child. There is no school child in those buildings that built and is there.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening with our educators in this country? That's 2. Thirdly, finally. Now, what's going on in our country? This is our country, Guyana. Do you know when last you been in the market? When last you purchased things? Every single week in this country, things is skyrocketing in this country. From gas that you buy to cook on, the cooking oil, the milk that your children using in Milo, every single thing is skyrocketing high in this country. What's really going on? Anyway, sir, that's my contribution.
Thank you for coming through, man. Thank you. Have a good evening.
I'll stop when the call coming, but I didn't understand. He was saying the schools have been built and there's no one in the school.
Yeah, because the teachers on strike. The teachers on strike. That's what he means, right?
That's
Yeah.
what-
Yeah, take it.
Good evening.
Right.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello?
You have to
Turn the volume down of your device,
down.
please.
Yeah, good night. I'm listening to your program and I'm like amazed in terms of Guyanese response to what you guys are advocating. And it's amazing to see that, nobody is thinking in terms of what we were, what we are, and where we're going. You got me?
Yeah, we're listening.
All right. So, I mean, a country like Guyana, which we all know was. You want proof that you're wrong. You want it to happen. We are too advanced in anything. I mean, in terms of technology and people advancing in everything.
Well, that's not true. We are advanced in many other things.
We got this oil, okay? And everybody looking for this acceleration. It's like boom, speed. And in every instance in life, we all know that we grew up from childhood to adolescence to adulthood, to teenager, adulthood, or whatever.
Right. So caller, you have to go ahead and make your point. We have other people calling in. So we'd like to give you an opportunity to speak, but you have to be quick about it.
Right. No patience. The one thing's happened like yesterday. And nothing happens overnight.
Fast enough for them.
Everything
Well, we said Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right. So all these guys were advocating all these speed and blah blah. What's supposed to happen? And you build a business, something 2 years you don't make $1.
Right. So things take some things take some time. Other things happen quickly.
And know what it takes to run a business, to make a business grow. You have to have patience. You have to have resilience.
Okay, sir. We get your point. Thanks for coming.
So that's my point.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Good night, buddy.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah. The population is impatient. A lot of people are impatient. The president is impatient. The president wants to get things done very quickly. There's a limited amount of time. We want to move as quickly as possible to deliver the best service to the people and all of that. So it's a good point.
Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you all doing?
Be good, man. Good evening.
Okay. Here now, I have some comments. Well, first thing, concerning the lab at the Georgetown Hospital, my husband was there last week, and he do endless tests at the Georgetown Hospital, and he do it right at Georgetown Hospital. And the other thing, even when you have health center at a different district or different village, and in my where I'm living here in Eccles, every Friday you could go and get your blood work done right there, and the following Friday or Monday you go back there and you get the result.
And these are the things we need to promote.
Yes, so I mean, I can't understand what that caller said about 6 weeks or so. Last week my husband was there, and he go and he do a lot of blood work there because he is at the clinic there. So the doctor recommend blood work for when he have to go back to the next clinic day. So when he went to the lab gave him a date to go for the blood work near to his clinic there, and he get it done right there.
Correct. There are a lot of blood tests that are being done at the clinics in Kingrow, for example, but for the more complicated tests, you would probably need to go to a specialized institution. But for men doing tests for PSA and all of that, these are routine things that can be done at these centers. And I'm glad you highlight Eccles. A lot of people living in Eccles does not even know that we have a health center in Eccles, in the new housing scheme. That's in the Flamboyant Street, right?
Yes.
Correct. A lot of people don't even know that we have a health center there.
Yeah, and other thing, I would like the Minister of Education to send officials from the Minister of Education to check these schools, who the teachers them, go in to teach the children them and see if the teachers them is teaching the children them or they just sitting in the classroom claiming that they're there to at the school. And the other thing concerning these blackouts, I can't understand some Guyanese people. When we used to get blackout day and night for hours in previous government in the years go back, nobody never made complaint. Now you're getting some 1 and 2 blackouts, like one couple months after you're getting some blackout and so, and people making comments. Guyanese people need to put the act together and to be grateful what this government doing in trying to help people in every sector to give everyone a happy and a comfortable life. We must expect that error does make, things does happen, and we got to accept it, but blackout don't be like for days or months or weeks, like for a couple days, a week or a month, you might get 1 day blackout or a couple hours blackout because of maintenance of the lights them, of the poles and these kind of things. So people must, and Guyanese people must put the act together and just accept that, okay, this government trying the best to make everybody to live a comfortable life. Don't make comments. If it's something falls on the ground, you pick up and you're making comments and blaming government for every single thing. It's only now people blaming government. In the previous time, people have to should step them out and can't say nothing. It's only now they got the privilege to open them out and blaming government now.
Well, it's good that we provide an environment where people can express their views freely. Sometimes it's done unfairly and all of that, but you have to take that in stride and see the positives in this environment that you're talking about. And the positive is that people feel free to make known their positions, and people like you will call them out for, say, you know, this thing what you're talking about is not exactly what it should be and all of that. So your point is well taken, and I think that, like I said, based on my own personal experience too, that things have improved a lot, and sometimes you do have some issues that we have to deal with, and you might go there, unfortunately, on a day when things are not happening the way it ought to, but these are things that you take in stride, you overcome the problems, the difficulties, and you move on. So thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good. The numbers are on the screen: 647-4397, 652-1314, and of course there's our landline. We have another appearance by our guest go ahead. Another appearance by our guest co-host. So put your questions on water and local government to him. Good evening.
We have...
Yes. I guess that caller there just to have a PPP membership card.
Well, your guess is as good as mine, but as a citizen, we are open to calls from everyone.
Anyhow, guys.
All right. Thanks for coming through.
Caller, good evening. You're on the program. You're on the show.
Good evening.
You have to turn your volume down.
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead.
I would love this to be the first of a lengthy and a fruitful and informative discussion. Georgetown Hospital and the status of the healthcare system in Guyana. I'm a physician. I have studied extensively medicine, and I would like the government representative on the panel tonight to explain to me what are the requirements for the doctors that you employ with the Georgetown Hospital and the public clinics and so forth. Because why I'm asking this question is I am seeing people complaining day after day, year after year, concerning the quality of the medical system. Something else I would like to add also for the government representative to elaborate on. the people who you call doctors in these places, in the hospital and so forth, how long have they studied medicine, and what clinical trials they were part of, and apart from that, what lab work or what papers have they established along the lines of medical investigations, findings, so forth. Because I am seeing some things taking place, and I would like, as I said, I would like this tonight to be the first of a long and lengthy discussion concerning the healthcare system in Guyana.
Well, we'll perhaps those questions you asked there need detailed investigation. We'll have to do an audit of that. But
what I'd recommend, Mr. Siraj, you're a wonderful guy. What I'd recommend is for Mr. Kissoon and Akash to invite some of the doctors to speak on where the healthcare system is going in this country. Because there's a lot of things that I would like to address, but I don't want to address it just yet. I'm 47 years of age.
well, we don't have the expertise here.
Would you like to come on the program?
No. I don't.
Well, you see, that's the problem. How we go? If you have, but how we gonna get other people?
No, listen.
Suppose the other people take the same attitude like you. No, we won't come on the program.
Listen, around, we're discussing the medical system in Guyana, the Georgetown Public Hospital, and the clinics in Guyana, the health.
And also the private hospitals. The health system in Guyana comprises of the government system and the private institutions.
No, Mr. Siraj, the private hospital is a different animal. I want to discuss the Ministry of Health protocols. I would like to discuss protocols, the qualifications of these doctors. Let me tell you why I'm asking this question. I have had people come to me, several people come to me at different times and discuss at length problems that they faced with the public hospital. You know, when you look at some of the work the doctors are doing there, right? And you ask the patient, who is the doctor that is looking at this person for you? You know the doctors don't even want to give their names. I would like to think by law that if a doctor is in a public system, by law his name should be on the board.
I agree with that.
He should be wearing a name tag. He should be wearing a name tag.
He should be wearing a name tag.
Police officers.
But I'm telling you, look, there's a video right now circulating where a guy with a person on the floor, and the doctor called the police to remove the man, and he must take the video to the phone. You see? But I want to stay with facts.
Right. We all want to stay with facts, and I want to tell you also that
I would like to inspire you because you know they say iron sharpened iron, so man sharpened the countenance of his friend. So I would like to inspire you to invite some of these doctors from the public hospital and from the Ministry of Health and let them come and explain to the public the protocols, the quality of medications that they use, etc. Right?
Well, I agree. We will probably have to invite different skill set here because some of those questions we cannot answer here. But I want to tell you also that a majority of the doctors who operate in the public system also float around in the private systems.
Yeah.
They have clinics there and all of that. And you obviously have some medical experience and expertise and possibly qualification, and you will know this more than me. I'm not in the medical profession myself. I only what I know, but I will tell you that a lot of the doctors that operates in the public system, they also operate in the private system. And when we talk about medical care in Guyana, we also have to look at the medical care that is provided for by private institutions along with the public institutions. And
No, Mr. Siraj, I understand what you're saying, but here is where you made an error. You made an error when you were going to lump the two together. Let me explain to you why.
I'm not lumping. I'm just saying that medical care in Guyana, you have two sides. You have the public system and you have the private system.
Listen. The public system has to go with the protocol of the Ministry of Health that is governed.
Obviously. Right? And you cannot put a person who's not qualified to be a doctor to operate there.
Yeah, the private hospitals will use a different protocol.
I don't think it should be dissimilar.
To the Ministry of Health in that context. So I would like for Mr. Kissoon to invite some persons.
All right, we'll take your recommendation.
But why don't you want to come? You're making some.
It is not about me. It is about the medical system that people are going to. I am not a part of the medical system in Guyana.
But you obviously have some knowledge and some expertise.
No, but but you're missing the point. We would like someone to come and dissect these problems and speak about it.
I will call in every time I look at your program. I'm a big fan of your program, I must state. And
But you still haven't answered the question. Why you don't want to come?
No, Mr. Kissoon, I don't want to come. I want you to.
All right. Well, we'll try to get someone from the public health system to be on the program.
Continuously do it. Bring people who are dealing with orthopedics, bring people who are dealing with internal medicine, bring people who are dealing with cardiology, bring people who are dealing with neurology. Bring these different people. Bring all.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have all those expertise here, but
apart from that too, also invite somebody senior from the Ministry of Health, like the Chief Education Officer, and from time to time even the Minister of Health, so we can discuss these protocols and the standard operating procedures that they use. Because I tell you why. Let me cut out so somebody else can get a chance.
No, but before you go, we had a program with three doctors. One was the deputy pathologist, and they were talking about. In fact, one of them made a point that
cancer?
No, that was another program. We had one in which the deputy pathologist was on the program, and so. But I invited the Minister of Health twice.
Yeah, do that, Mr. Kissoon, because I tell you what, the pandemic, there are going to be a lot of pandemic problems that is going to occur in the future.
All right, good. Let's take this.
We'll take that as a recommendation in going forward.
Keep calling.
Thank you very much.
Hope to hear from you next week. Good. You want to call in?
Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, good night.
Good night. Go ahead.
Mr. Kissoon, the people talking about doctors and hospital and these things, but people can't eat food, and when they eat the ones at the food they gone and they ain't exercising and all kind of thing. When they got it, there's not even cleaning out their body.
Oh my goodness, you gone in another direction.
No, but listen what I'm saying. If you're cleaning out your body, you're going to get sick. And then when you go to the hospital, you go to the hospital and they get the medicine the people want to cure right away.
You gone
all right, we'll have to invite you as an expert in this field.
But you got a point. You got a point.
I want to make a next point.
Yeah, go ahead.
They had a guy on this program. They had a guy on this program this afternoon. We named Jabur, and he's saying that the government.
Oh, that's a different program. Yeah. What? Yeah. Well, I haven't seen it.
About this government is a field.
The government is what?
He said that there is a failed state, and he's looking for votes. I don't know who gonna vote for him.
Guyana is a failed state?
Yeah, that's what he...
Freddie, you have somebody on this program saying that?
I don't know.
No. He before this one.
He said he was trying to know.
They're talking about this guy, somebody will get problem with the U.S.
We plan to have Kian Jabu on the program.
Yeah, Jabu, the same man.
We plan to have on the program.
That guy, he's so anxious that I don't know that he must get his facts right when he come on these type of thing and tell people. He ain't getting his facts right.
I haven't seen the program.
He talking about this and he talking about that, but I listened to the ambassador today, the American ambassador. And the woman, you know what the woman said? The woman said that the government is cooperating, they're doing everything. They said, according to what she's saying, the government have everything in order. But they have to bring facts and give the government, well, this is what the people do, that is what the government...
Well, sometimes they have the cart before the horse too.
I spoke to Jabu and I asked him to come in the program with another panelist. if Guyana is a failed state, then I would think every other country in the world is a failed state.
This man, this guy get good. And he just talk with such a passion. I just divided there wrong this man there. I don't know. All right, you do it.
The man he's an opposition politician. He's speaking to his supporters. He has a right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, caller.
Thanks a lot. We got this call here.
Good evening, caller. You're on here.
Good evening, Mr. Akash.
Good evening.
I have a question to direct to Mr. Siraj. It is concerning these contractors that work with GUYANA. I have had some experience. This is my third experience with them damaging it's a government reserve, but we try to keep it clean and maintain it. And I would have concreted my driveway and the parapet and stuff. They cave, they break it, they damage it. And they're not fixing it back. All they're doing is just put back dirt on this thing. What is the procedure? I've seen it happen out on the main road, and they have fixed it back. They put back concrete, asphalt, or whatever it is that it was being done with. But because of the fact this is being done in a scheme, and there was it's just the morning before they come and break it, like a day before they come and break it, they inform you. And I've newly bought this place. It's something somewhere else that I was living before I had that experience with twice. And this is my third time.
Right. Well, first of all, where your connection is should not be cast over with concrete. And wherever it is, the protocol is that the person is informed that, listen, we need to have access to the water connection, and we're asking you to do this or to do that. I've had a few people talk to me about this matter. I ran it through GWI. I made the connection. The GWI people advise them what needs to be done. If GWI comes there and do it, it is as a last resort because it costs them money to do that. And they will prefer the customer to do the job because by the customer doing the job, it will not affect GWI financially. So they prefer you to do the job. And I know it's a last resort for them to come in and break anything because all of us want the front of our house, the side and the back, all of it to look nice, and that should be commended. But GWI also need to have access to their connections. And these parts should not, you shouldn't put concrete over them. And if it is done, it can be done in a nice way that it still looks good and it can satisfy your needs and it will also satisfy the needs of GWI. The fact that they come there only with 1 day notice means that something is wrong. That ought not to happen. And right now there is a case where GWI has been waiting 3 weeks for someone to come in from overseas that I know of because that person asked that they come and they do the work as identified by GWI to avoid the same problem you're talking about, breaking up the place and leaving it in an unsightly manner. So I'll be happy to follow up on this problem for you.
I'm very much grateful for that because you know what? This is happening in Tushin scheme and it is not that a pipe that was previously there. This is a new connection that they're putting down.
Right. And this connection is for you.
No, I already have water in my premises.
So they're putting a connection for someone else?
No. This thing is new, like 8-inch pipes they're running from Tushin scheme.
Right. So
I knew something. I don't know if it's going to connect to Virginogen well or what they're doing because it's coming in.
Oh, well, let me tell you what's happening there. I know what is happening. We are putting in a brand new treatment plant there. Now, this treatment plant must provide water for people, and they're doing the distribution main. Once it's 8-inch pipe, it's a distribution main to meet the target population with treated water. And if it is, normally they run these pipes along these roads, and wherever they will work in conjunction with the Ministry of Public Works. Wherever they got to cross the road and so on, they work under the supervision of the Ministry of Public Works. And if people have basically put concrete over the side of the roads, then in order for them to put the pipes, those concrete will have to be disturbed to allow the pipes to go through. But you can call me after the program and I could take some additional information to deal with this matter, okay?
Okay, Mr. Serious.
Thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you. Bye.
Caller, good evening, you're on the air. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello?
You see the volume.
Probably missed that call. The person still on?
I don't know. The volume is right on.
Try calling them back, maybe.
Hello? Hello?
Sorry. You want to come in there.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening, sir. To you and everyone there.
Good evening.
Lower your volume.
Good evening, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. You have to tell you the volume.
We're hearing the program on your phone, so you have to lower your volume.
I don't have heard anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you guys hearing me now?
Yeah, hearing you loud and clear. It's somebody else. The lines are probably crossed.
Someone at the other phone there.
Probably. Go ahead.
I'm calling to ask, I drive around the city of Georgetown every day and I'm seeing all kind of violation. Can you tell me if there ever would be a system in place to enforce all the laws that are there to prevent people from doing things? Because all I see in Guyana is the failure to enforce the law that
well, people throwing garbage out through their car windows every day, and there's a law against that. So it's a good question that there are laws there that people should abide by, and you're making a good point. We have a culture here in this country. Yeah.
Right in Eccles by Flamboyant Supermarket, opposite they have the Flamboyant Restaurant. I think Root and something. A guy has a workshop there. From time to time, the parts where people supposed to be walking, they block up the place. You know what's the problem with Guyana, and I don't know why people think it's impossible. All you have to do is enforcement of law, and everything else is going to be all right.
You have a good point.
That's an excellent point. I stopped at the pedestrian crossing for a lady and a baby, and a man came and went through. He could have knocked that woman and baby, and they have some. But what I don't understand, you have surveillance cameras, and there's a centralized place behind the Artachon Convention Center that monitor these cameras. When you see those things, when you monitor those cameras, they may be the same day the next day. You take the number of that car and charge that man. That man could have knocked down that lady and a baby. When you have your hazard on, you have to stop behind the car that has the hazard on.
Nobody don't pay attention. Nobody don't care what they do
enforcement
anymore.
is a big problem, and it's something we got to work on.
You have all kind of violation in this country. Nobody don't enforce.
All right, so thanks a lot. Thanks for coming through. Let's take this call.
Hope we could get somewhere with this kind of program.
Thanks for coming through. Bye-bye.
Good evening, caller. You're live on air. Hello?
Hello? Let's take this call. Hello?
Hey, this is Siraj. I heard you was explaining to a previous caller there that the lines that they are running, the water line.
Right.
And water.
That is correct.
Good. And would you be able to say how old is that scheme, tuition scheme?
Tuition scheme is relatively new. The new scheme is new, and that is why they have to take the lines there to service an expanding housing drive in that area. Tuition scheme is probably one of the biggest housing scheme in the country.
Okay. So my reason of asking you that question, I am from Region 6, and Region 6 is apparently old region. You know that, right?
Right.
And I grew up here.
Right.
And we only have one treatment plan in Region 6, and I grew up and known that plan. That's a very good plan.
Mm-hmm.
That water is even better than the water that you buy in the bottle. Trust all the way up in the quarantine, is there any other plan to get treatment water here on the quarantine? Is there anything in the pipeline coming soon, or are they discussing anything?
Yes, treatment plants have been identified for the quarantine area. I was at the commissioning of one just about mid last year, and this one is in they're more for there because you're targeting, because this is for expansion work. We have for this year alone 7 new treatment plants. I can't tell you at the top of my head their exact locations, but their locations will be dependent on the targeted populations.
Okay. Anyhow, thank you.
Right. Thank you, caller, for coming through.
If there's no call on the line yet, we forgot to mention, Dalam Kumar Siraj has been re-elected to the Central Committee and to the Executive Committee of the PPP. So we forgot to mention that. He's still up there.
Hello? Yes, caller, go ahead. Good night. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hello, yes, go ahead.
They're talking about this, the prices for farmers' produce are very expensive. But they're not the farmers getting any money. The hucksters and these...
the middleman, they're making all the money.
Them people, look, we got the Parikas of their farm, right?
Right.
$30 pound for cassava and sell for 100.
Wow.
These people who are the control the prices. So what we need to do, we need to set up farmers market or wholesale market so the farmers can get a better price. And the consumers can also get a reasonable price. The middleman gouging and making all this money.
Caller, it's an excellent point, and the Ministry, I know, of Agriculture, from time to time will have organized farmers market. And at every market you have the wholesaler period. Right.
We got things right now for Ricabata selling cassava of $30. It's really going on.
$100 pound.
He's selling for 30.
All these markets. And they determine the price for your selling for. And sometimes when they buy your stuff, they don't pay you. They wait till they don't sell, and then they give you. They gotta do something about this thing.
Right, it's
farmers gotta be, the farmers be able to sell the produce themselves. If you go to judge, so they don't allow you to sell.
But you have the wholesale facilities for up to a period of time.
There's a farmers market all over this country, man. And they still want to tell you about, right? I noticed on the roadside, they got some poisonous plant, they planted all over the place.
So what poisonous plant?
Nobody don't know poisonous plants now. They got enough poisonous plant in this country.
Right.
So on the roadside, the public road, they're planting poisonous plants.
What's poisonous plant?
Well, here what? You're a farmer, you know these plants. What? My number is 652-1314. Can you take some pictures and WhatsApp it to me, please?
You know, right now,
but did you hear what Mr. Persaud said? Could you WhatsApp
the pictures of the poisonous plant?
Pardon me? You got to turn on your volume.
So caller, don't you go to the Parika market on Sunday to sell?
He's listening on the other device.
So you're listening. You're listening to yourself. We're getting a feedback.
Good.
Turn it down.
Can you tell me, do you go to Parika market and sell on Sundays?
So turn down.
He's listening to himself on the device.
Okay, thanks for coming through, man. Thanks.
Must take all the picture and send it to you. Yeah. What I'm saying is that Akash gave you his number. So these poisonous plants, if you can take out a picture of them, and he will follow up and investigate.
We will highlight them if that's the case. We'll highlight them on the show.
Okay, let's take this other call here. Thanks for coming through. Hello, he's still listening to himself. Hello.
Yeah, good night.
Good evening.
Good evening to all. What I want to say is that we work on that GPL line. No?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I work on the GPL line that they have, the transmission line. I work there. It was the Guy Bridge that do that work. When I work there, what I can say, the wires them on that line, it is more than 4 feet apart from one another on that tower, because I work on the tower in 1984, 1985.
Okay.
And I don't believe that those vultures trip that line, because even the insulation them that you have on that line is 2 feet and more long. So if a vulture is on the line, it's difficult for the wing to touch on the frame of the tower.
Because of the insulation.
I even went out on that tower. I went out to put some aircraft signal over on the river between the two towers. I slide on that line and go out. You cannot stretch your hands from one line over to the next line. It is impossible. So I don't think the boards them could do that.
Yeah, well, must be more bigger boards then. The caller, you're giving us some invaluable information there, and thank you very much. Obviously,
so there must be a special kind of carrion. There must be a special species of carrion. Go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and next thing too, today I heard somebody was saying that they are at Ithaca on the sea dam. Ithaca don't have a sea. It is on the river bank.
Correct.
It's on the west bank of Berbice.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. They use the term interchangeably. Sea dam and river dam. But you're correct. To be correct and to be specific, it's the river dam.
Okay, so let's take this other call here.
It's the river dam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming through.
Yeah. Good evening, caller. You're live on air.
Yes, Akash?
Yes, it is. Yes, go ahead, please.
Good night. I would make a complaint about a month ago about that bearing ground right by UG Gate. That thing's cleaning, man. I talked to Siraj about it a month ago.
Okay.
You know what you're talking about?
I know. I went to UG and I worked at UG for 26 years. So
correct. The burial grounds all over this place got this problem. That's not to say that we should not fix it. They need fixing. I know some years ago the government had spent millions of dollars to clean up Lepentier. That particular burial ground you're talking about is in a deplorable state. It's almost like a jungle.
I know because
it's almost like a jungle out here. I went there at a funeral some months ago, and you practically, if you didn't have a long boots, you couldn't go in there.
Well, I'm living in state. I went back there for a funeral too, a month ago.
Right. So you have a point there, Colin. Different agencies have different responsibilities, and I think it's an allocation of resources because we need to look after our burial ground. I myself did some personal and private work in King Grove at the King Upland burial ground there, where my father is, and among other people, we sometimes do voluntary work to clear up. But obviously, I think I totally agree with you that either at central level or at the local level, more resources need to be allocated to take care of burial grounds.
Because the thing right by the UG Gate, you know?
Just imagine. Correct. 10 years ago, I did 2 columns on burial ground on the West Bank.
Well, thank you, caller. We'll try to do as much as possible to deal with this.
Another thing I want.
Quickly, time going.
In front of that training college gate, right? You got these sellers down there. In the night, late in the night, they open a club there, man. They put polling and they're drinking and sporting and they're sleeping all over the road there.
That's in front of Civil Partners College on UG Road?
Right. These things happen at some of these places. Some amount of lawlessness. with these night operations and all of that. I no doubt they probably have some amount of illegal substance being sold here also.
All right. Good evening.
Thank you very much, caller, for coming through. Good evening, caller. You're on the air.
Good night, Siraj. Harbhajan here.
Good night, Harbhajan.
Akash.
Yes, good night.
Gentleman caller, but
you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Harbhajan, like your internet.
Harbhajan.
We're close to the router, Harbhajan. We're losing you.
Something wrong with
you get me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get me now?
Yes, go ahead. Go
like
ahead.
you've been near Rover. It's still happening. It's still happening.
Harbhajan, you got to call back. Let me try to call you back.
Something wrong with your phone, Harbhajan.
Yeah, good.
Let's take this call. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're on the air. Go ahead.
President, good night to you and team.
Yes, go ahead. Good night.
The question I want to ask Brother Dharam Kumar, it's an honest answer. Why is it that it is so very hard and difficult for the PDP administration to pay workers, government workers, the teachers and others, a livable wage, not a livable wage, but a better wage? We know there's a current impasse with the union and the teachers, but honestly, the PP seems to have an ingrained issue that they will never or they will not do a budge in paying public servants and government workers, the joint service, people working for the government. I don't like the word public servants because these are the treated people as real servants, government employees.
Well, the statistics is.
Why they don't want to pay? And it's not their money, not the PP money. I must say, it's not the PP money. It only belongs to the state or the people of Guyana.
Well, first of all, before
pay people a proper salary or a better salary, so to speak.
Well, sir, you're entitled to your opinion, but the facts will prove you wrong, and the facts are that under the PPP civic administration, you've had yearly increases in public servant salary. And if you read the papers recently, a comparison was done that shows clearly, using numbers, putting aside emotions and all of that, because I think the PPP prides itself on being a working class oriented party. Notwithstanding they talk about doing away with Marxism and all of that. The fact,
these people striking.
Right. The fact of the matter is that even independent observers out there have said that some of these demands are unrealistic, and all the government is asking.
You don't have to meet them and meet them halfway. The people are,
but they're not coming.
But doesn't the government have to meet them somewhere?
You got to meet them somewhere. That's part of negotiation.
This is 6 months of the year. This is the 6 months of the year. There has not been any increase yet for 2024.
But what I'm saying is that in order for us to arrive at a compromise, there must be a place that we meet, and we must have discussion, and we must have negotiations. If you're fixed in your ways and you don't want to negotiate, you will have a stalemate. And your proposal also got to be realistic. And I think that's the position of the government, that let us meet, let us talk, and let us not only talk about this year, let us talk about a 3-year program. Let us talk about 4 years. Let us talk about what obtains in other countries.
But Dharam, you were saying that the 5% that the others give, there's substantial increase.
My brother, I would want a 50% next year.
Substantial increase. There's enough.
I would want a 50% next year.
No, I'm not saying 50%, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, but there's a difference between what you want.
5% that you give, that is given to all government workers at December, but only December, then you have to give an increase. You have to give people January, February, March, April, May, or wherever.
But that is not true, because
December to give people a small change.
That is not true, because whatever is given in December.
So in this country that does the government give
No, you don't have an appreciation of what.
Has there been an increase when budget has been read? When last has we used an increase at budget time? When budget approved January and February, whether during the budget, at least been an announcement, or a little after budget, April or May, or sometime then, that this is the increase rate. It wait until Christmas Day, Christmas month, and give a something.
But whatever is given is for the whole year because it is retroactive to December. No, you have we can separate the issue.
December month we supposed to be eating?
We can separate the issue.
The operator just said to me 5 minutes remain.
We can separate the issue. One issue is that, listen, give us the increase from January. That's one issue. The second issue is that whatever increase you're giving in December is retroactive.
Okay, so
it's supposed to be when you read budget for the year, that is when you're supposed to give the workers what they deserve. That's what you say, drains, canal. No drain, canal, and road can be more important than human beings, Mr. Daram.
No, whatever.
Drain, canal,
you're correct.
Bridges can be more important than the human being.
But the drains and canals and roads.
If you have $100,
the drains, the canals, and the roads are designed to make your life more comfortable.
The canal and the wherever. Just what you said, you do so much for roads and do so much for canals. What about the people who
my brother, if we don't clear the drains, you will be flooded.
They don't matter?
If we don't clear the drains, you will be flooded. If we don't build the roads, you can't drive your cars.
You have to do human beings first before you clean the drain.
But the drains are being dug for the human beings.
All right, I think the exchange went beyond the required time. Thanks for coming through. We appreciate your call, and please stick with us. Next week Friday we have call in. Please call in again, right, sir? Okay,
and we'll continue this discussion, but we'll separate the issue. We'll separate the issue maybe at budget you can announce the increase, but the point I'm making that whatever you get in December is retroactive to January also.
Caller, good evening. You're live on air.
You know what I want to say with the previous caller? We're talking about the teachers and the teachers. You know what the government too soft. Here's what the government should have done. Like how Jordan, they put on the taxes on the people. Left on the taxes and you collect billions of dollars. The teachers, everybody will get paid. But when they go in the shop, they can't buy nothing.
Well, there's a different point, but like I was telling the other caller is that I think this government prides itself on being pro-poor and pro-poor people, and for pro-development. And all these things are done, as I was talking, that if you dig a drain or a canal, it's for the benefit of people. If you build a road, it's for the benefit of the people. If you build a school, it's for people.
He won't understand that. When you see a limited, they got some intelligent people talking stupidness.
Well, you have some of that also.
Yeah, he wouldn't understand that, but I said we should have left on the taxes and collect billions of dollars and pay them when they go in the shop, they can't buy nothing. They still grabbing. They still gonna grab for survival.
Okay, caller. Thank you very much. You have a point here, but and you're making the point that in order for you to pay out, you must receive. In order for you to have an expenditure, you must have revenue.
Well, that is what some of these done the head don't understand.
And that is why I was saying that I want a 50% increase next year. But where is it going to come from?
Me too.
Right. So
excuse me, sir. Before you go off, can you hear me? You're voting for Siraj next year?
I voted for the PPP.
Well, you're voting for Siraj. You got a vote here. Thanks for coming through. We got a call. Good evening. Be quick. We only got 2 minutes more.
Yeah, Operator City. Real quick. Harbison here again.
Go ahead.
Straight to you.
Go ahead.
We're talking about all this barren ground and overgrown bushes.
Correct.
You and I know that the NDC and the municipality have a responsibility.
Correct.
And the NDC municipality have a works committee, and people are paid to bury the dead at these burial ground. You can see to it that or make the overseer or the clerk of work enforce that these places are being cleaned because they are being paid to do this job. It's just that it's a system. All they have to do is follow the system, so we're not going to have these complaints.
I think we have a lot to do in terms of addressing our burial ground. A lot of them are in deplorable state, and we all have, I think, we should make it all our responsibility to do whatever we can to put these things in shape, in a nice shape. Clean it up, make it tidy, so that people can, visit their departed ones in some amount of comfort. And I agree with you that I'll do whatever I can, and the offices I hold, to see what influence I can bring to bear to address, proper upkeep of burial grounds.
Yes, that's one. And as the board of director for NDI, one of the board of director for NDI, quickly, Barbies would have faced with some
flooding,
some outfall, which has not been cleared, and some, especially Blackbush would have come under some flooding there.
Correct. Let's be hold inside.
Some of the contracts was given out to contractors a few years, and some would have given out lately to clear the outfall. But for some reason, we would have a dry weather season, and this contract would have awarded 8 months ago. But some of these contractors failed to execute the job. And your capacity at your level, I don't know if you can regionally that these things are done.
Quickly, Abajan, the operator say we're over time. Quickly, a couple seconds more.
Yeah, go ahead,
right. Thank you very much, Gobin. It's a matter that I raised at the board, and it's really criminal that contracts would have been awarded and the outfall's not clear. I understand and appreciate you're waiting for some amount of rain, but the rain started in April, and those outfalls should have been cleared, and those pumps should have been operational, and they were caught with their pants down.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. We're 2 minutes over time. We can't. Dharam Kumar Siraj, Member of Parliament, said his party is for the working class. Our operators are working class guys, so we can't exploit them. You were looking at our normal Friday calling, but we had a co-host that was a guest co-host. This is his 4th time he's co-hosted the program. We hope we can get him here back on Friday. We work on holidays, so there is a show on Monday. Mondays, there is a program. There is a Freddie Kissoon show with Akash Persaud. Let's hope we get Siraj next Friday so people can talk to him and he can interact with people. Thanks for being with us. Have a splendid weekend. As I normally say, catch you later.
Have a good night, viewers.
Bye.